Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. A major twist in the Rostermania tale going down last night as Mack has unfortunately confirmed he will not be competing in the CDL at the start of the new season. He was rumoured onto the Las Vegas Legion team. That of course is now no longer happening. Could they replace him 1-for-1, or is there more going on? Because Clayster certainly seems to be implying there is more Rostermania chaos going down behind the scenes as a result of this decision. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, this is ZooMaa's 10k Stallion Showdown going down tomorrow. These are the 8 teams. Now, we saw some of these rumoured the other day, and a lot of those are still the same, and they're pretty nice at that, I can't lie. I mean, Cellium, Simp, HyDra, Skyz is filthy. Now, I believe it will be the case that HyDra's playing from France, as in across the pond, so, you know, should be some sort of internet disadvantage. Don't know how much that's going to affect HyDra, I guess. But yeah, here you go. This is the Cold War throwback, I'm pretty sure, right? So Drazah, Illy, Decimate, Prolutes, another team, Dashy, Scrappy, CleanX, and Thieves we saw. This team I don't think we did see the other day, though, with aBeZy, Shotzzy, Priestahh, and Heretics. That's a very interesting and pretty nice team, especially because you've got to realise, okay, it is Black Ops Cold War, as it says here at the top of the screen. So you've got to look at how good some of these players were back in Black Ops Cold War. Of course, aBeZy and Heretics were part of that legendary FaZe team that dominated that year. Cellium and Simp on the other side of things are over there on Team 1. So, yeah, should be pretty good on paper. Haven't really seen some of these guys play Black Ops Cold War. The likes of Scrappy wasn't around in the league, of course, at the time. But in some of the throwbacks I've seen recently, Scrappy, I mean, he's going to be good at every game, isn't it? That's pretty straightforward. This is also another team, Temp, Gwyn, Neptune, and Fellow. Pretty similar to one of the rumoured lineups that was going down there for the Challenger side. Like, there was these guys with GodRx, I think. But now all of a sudden there's Fellow instead of GodRx. Doesn't necessarily mean much. It's just a tournament. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Temp, Gwyn, Neptune, GodRx, those type of players do end up getting picked up by one of the pro teams, one of the pro league teams remaining, given the fact that there is, you know, things are changing behind the scenes, it seems, on that. Octane, Gunless, Classic, Bristini, of course, looking back to the old Seattle team. This I'm kind of excited for as well. Snoopy, JurNii, Cammy, DiamondCon, just to get to see JurNii and Cammy, of course, they're both together on the Los Angeles Thieves roster for the new season. Snoopy's on Boston, so, you know, DiamondCon as well. Be interesting to see. And then this final team, Symbols and Co. Not really sure too much of these names. Maybe it's Vinny Gage getting involved again, as he sometimes does in these tournaments. But let's dive into this Rostermania stuff, because this has major implications, and it's a really sad story. As Mack says, I won't be competing to start the Modern Warfare 3 season. The past few months, those close to me have known that my mum has battled with cancer and continues to undergo treatment. I don't know what's next, but family is everything to me, and I want to take this time to spend with them. As he says, to all the fans and everyone who supported me over the last several years, thank you, means the world. Have more updates soon. So, peace out for the time being. So really sad. Hopefully, you know, his mum recovers and, well, the family can deal with this issue appropriately. It's yeah, devastating stuff. And Mack obviously felt confident enough for some time that he would be able to compete and start the season, but now he feels like it's in his best interest and his family's best interest to take some time away. So yeah, really hoping that this all works out for the better and Mack can return in a few months' time, hopefully with his mum having beaten the damn cancer, and then he can get back to focusing on, I guess, what he wants to, which is, you know, playing competitive COD. But, you know, obviously family is where he is going to focus for the time being. So this then, of course, opens the door as to what's going to happen instead, right? Because Mack, we thought he was going to be competing this year. That's not going to be the case for the start of the season, as unfortunate as that is. As he says, okay, sure, he can return mid-year, couple of months in, hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, obviously Mack was linked, and now that's not going to be happening anymore. And it is sad, just because he actually became the first player, Mack, to have a finals appearance in all 4 years. He was on the new Subliners, of course, during the Modern Warfare 19 season, and then Black Ops Cold War. Then he went on to Seattle Surge. You know, they made finals even this most recent year. They made a finals in the kickoff classic, right? Seattle Surge. So, you know, and also he's only one of 11 players who hasn't missed a single qualifier. Every match that could have been played from a qualification perspective, Mack has played. 2-time champ, 4 finals appearances, placed top 4 at the last 2 champs in a row. So, you know, I don't think his, you know, people look at his numbers from the most recent season, they think Mack's terrible. I don't think that's true at all. Mack was actually really, really good in the, well, this is the 2020 season, right, when Mack came into the New York Subliners mid-season. He was kind of an SMG, but he also would run an AR sometimes. It was kind of a little bit like Awakening in a sense that he would often pick up both. And I honestly think Mack could get back to his best on a flex role. But, you know, he's basically been the dirty work player for the Seattle Surge the last couple of years. When you're playing with Pred and Sib, there are only so many kills on the map. And yes, Mack should have been better, whatever you want to say. And there's a good argument that maybe if they, you know, traded out Mack for Gwyn, that could have been a decent decision for them, just given the way it was going on the team. But I feel like Mack is not necessarily best suited to that role he played on Surge, and if he can get back to a role that he played a couple of years ago on the Subliners, and even, for example, this was his entire Cold War year, where, okay, sure, 76 overall, but he was playing with HyDra, so, you know, there's only so much you can do, and 0.99, 1.05, 1.00, right, it's kind of just doing what was necessary for the team. So, you know, I think that the Seattle couple of years have taken its toll somewhat on Mack's, you know, pedigree, I guess. But look, at the end of the day, he won that event with the New York Subliners, the online New York Subliners home series that they won back in Modern Warfare 19. And then most recently, last year, won Major 3 with Seattle. So, you know, an impressive career so far, and it is going to be a miss, right? And I was even looking back at some other Lion Man cards. This is from CDL 2021 Stage 1, when we had Simp and Clay. That was the point that he was a 99 overall. Hook, of course, had a crazy good stage then. You know, familiar names, Dashy, aBeZy, Awakening, Envoy, Cellium, Crim even. And, but Mack was here as 91 overall at the time. So, you know, definitely a player that I think has been getting on the border of being underrated the last couple of years, at least in terms of what he can do. In that specific role on that specific team, it wasn't really working. I think the team should have probably realized that, but definitely a Pro League caliber level player. And this is where he was linked to joining the Vegas Legion. This from Viper Gaming 13 on the Reddit again, and some of this we don't really know if it's going to be true, but it was rumored that potentially Vegas could be Standy, Attach, Mack, and Purge, and that seemed to be pretty much what the team was going to be, because ZooMaa talked about this on stream and said that, well, the Ravens team, because there were rumors that Ravens were going to be Clay, Nero, Fame +1. That's not what Viper Gaming has put down here, but, you know, it's basically because ZooMaa said that he doesn't think that's even true, but he didn't say anything against the rumored Vegas team, and they were even talking about it a few days ago on the broadcast, on the Flank show, basically saying like, yeah, this team could be actually pretty good. It's maybe not as bad as it potentially appears. So, also Los Angeles Guerrillas, we straight up have no idea, so we'll not even get into that yet, but I'm sure they're going to be getting involved at some point. This is the issue. Mack is stepping away and will not be returning for the time being. So, what does that mean? Does it mean that, all right, Vegas say, you know what, sure, because Purge is probably going to flex. That's probably his best role. I guess they had Mack wanting to run the SMG here, which is probably fine, but I don't know if that's where he is best suited necessarily. Attach, you'd imagine, is going to stay on Vegas if that's going to be the plan, and then maybe Standy as well. But, you know, would they say, all right, Mack's not going to play anymore, unfortunately, let's get someone in his place as another SMG alternative, you know, Fame or, you know, a Seam or someone like that, or is it potentially true that this entire team might no longer be a thing? And this is where Clay's tweets get rather interesting, because the fact that Mack told everyone on Twitter yesterday, it's very likely that he informed his teammates or his potential teammates and everyone behind the scenes probably a day in advance, maybe a little bit earlier, at least a few hours in advance of when this became public knowledge. And this is where you then get these, you know, very interesting tweets here from Clay. So he drops this one. He also drops a few interesting ones as well. Gotta say that he was mentioning just yesterday that it's the reason why he wants to probably call it a day at the end of this season is because he's tired of the off-season headache. And maybe he thought this off-season headache was coming to an end, you know, Ravens signing him, Carolina, all this stuff. But maybe that's not so true, because then he says it's kind of wild how fast people can switch up. And this comes at around a potentially similar time to when Mack might have informed Vegas what's going on. And yeah, there's rumors that potentially the salaries between those two teams are somewhat, there might be a bit of a gap there, right? Vegas are probably going to try and pay the minimum, but it's not exactly sure. Maybe Carolina have a bit more money, so maybe there's then a thing, because I, to be honest, thought that Clay and Standy were going to team, especially because Standy has some experience with Brian Saint, who's the head coach GM of Carolina Royal Ravens as it is now. So, to be honest, I think that might still be a possibility, and maybe with Mack departing from Vegas' rumoured team, Clay's them, you know, talking with other people, trying to make something happen. And, like, it's difficult to read into exactly what these tweets mean and what might be going on. He does go on to say, you know, just sick to my stomach at all times. So it doesn't sound like it's really working out for Clay, whatever's happening there behind the scenes. Because, you know, he's been frustrated over the last couple of months, the amount of time it's taken to lock down these rosters, and all of a sudden things are changing, it seems, behind the scenes, and it might not be working out in Clay's favor. But yeah, what would you guys do if you were the, let's say, Vegas Legion, right? Mack leaves. If you're these three, Attach, Standy, Purge, do you think, all right, let's get a fourth? Or is there a chance that if Ravens are offering a bit more money, especially because this Carolina team very much seems in flux? ZooMaa said the other day that the rumor that was heard with Clay Nero Fame +1 straight up wasn't true. Maybe it is Clay Nero, but I don't know what it is apart from that. So I think there is a chance here that maybe if the Vegas team blows up, okay, it hasn't blown up, you know what I mean, but Max stepped away, then maybe Standy or Purge or someone thinks, all right, let me speak to Clay and see if we can work something out over there. But maybe that's not working out for Clay because now he's tweeting about that things aren't going so well. So yeah, definitely seems like there's a big Rostermania chaos happening behind the scenes at the moment, especially when you've got to consider what the hell's going on with Gorillas, right? What are they even doing? I mean, like, Ricky's gone. We saw that the other day. I don't know if you guys mentioned, like, is Marky B still there? Marky B was released about a couple of months ago now, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if they have, like, anyone left over there. I know that Alex Rubens, he was their, like, old guy that would make the decisions. I don't know if he's still there either. So I literally have no idea what the staffing on Gorillas even looks like at the moment, to be honest. And what they're even going to do as a roster is very much up in the air, and it probably will be the very final thing decided. But then part of me is looking at the fact that GodRx was not on, not spotted on that team with 10th that's playing in the, ZooMaa Cobalt tournament. So you think, oh, maybe GodRx is going to get picked up somewhere here as well. And speaking of players like GodRx, I know that Josh on CDC Intel put together a list of all of the players in the NA region that are pretty stacked. He actually doesn't even mention GodRx here and some other ones as well. But, obviously these are some big name players that will be getting put together in challengers rosters. But I thought it was kind of funny what Panda said in the replies, and he says stacked is in the same terminology for like 7-ish good players on this list. And JurNii was like, all right, name them, Casey. Let's start some beef here. So yeah, very much intriguing your perspective on all this stuff in the comment section below. But just to mention, as we said the other day, the fact that Bance is probably going to start in challengers as well. He actually maintains the longest active yearly streak of attending the World Championship. Dashy is at 7 and is likely to get to 8 World Championships in a row this year, which is kind of crazy that Dashy's been around that long, but I guess technically that's just about true now. Since his debut at the 2017 World Championship, many of the other players had their debut 1 year later than that. So yeah, Dashy will probably take the lead in this category going into this season if Bance doesn't get on the CDL roster as is presently expected. So very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, okay. This one's good. Because this is Cell rookie year, I think. Cell rookie year. And I have to go big. This is for a reverse sweep. So I know that he has the advantage here. Right here, I know he has the advantage the whole time. He's behind the table. That's why I keep shouldering him. Just to try to get some kind of info or damage on him. I make him tweak a little bit by just delaying time. Bang. He thought that I wasn't going to defuse the bomb right here.